Good evening and thanks for trusting MTN this Monday night. I'm Keely Van Middendorp. We begin tonight with our fire watch. The wildfire burning between Helena and Clancy didn't grow significantly overnight. Authorities say the Lump Gulch fire is still at 1,500 acres. It is now 15% contained. 2 outbuildings have been lost in the fire, but no other structure damage has been reported. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports firefighters are now trying to work their way closer to the fire to get more secure containment.
Leaders with the incident management team, now in command of the Lump Gulch fire, say they haven't seen much growth since they took over Sunday afternoon.
We received quite a bit of moisture on the fire, so helped cool it off a lot.
There are structures in the area, particularly on the south end of the fire in Jefferson County, but leaders say the immediate risk to homes remains low. Firefighters are now working their way along the perimeter of the fire, trying to establish containment lines. The terrain is very difficult. Most of the work is being done by hand crews, but they are also using heavy equipment to reach the fire.
The edge of it is very undefined. There's a lot of spots, so that's making it a lot more time consuming for the crews.
Another issue is the large number of snags, dead trees that create serious risks for firefighters.
A lot of standing dead timber in the area, and it makes it much more difficult for our crews to access due to the threat of trees falling on them while they're working.
In the next few days, leaders expect to get a better handle on the fire, but they say people in the area shouldn't be surprised if they still see some smoke.
For the foreseeable future, though, due to the way the fire burned, there will be interior smokes and smoldering that people will see in the fire. There's just areas we won't be able to get folks into.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Thanks, Jonathan. And staying near our capital city, a Helena man faces multiple charges after a pursuit over the weekend. 37-year-old Robert Fasuga appeared via video in Justice Court today. He faces 7 charges after allegedly leading Lewis and Clark Sheriff's deputies on a high-speed chase Sunday evening. Just before 5 p.m. on Sunday, the Lewis and Clark Sheriff's Office deputies had located Fasuga, who had multiple outstanding warrants. According to court documents, deputies asked him to leave his vehicle, and Fasuga then revved the engine and lunged the vehicle at law enforcement. He is then accused of leading deputies and Montana Highway Patrol troopers on a high-speed pursuit through town that ended at the Helena campground and RV park. Now, Sheriff Leo Dutton told MTN when Fasuga exited his vehicle, he fled to a nearby trailer house and pointed a gun at himself, threatening suicide. After negotiations with deputies, Fasuga was apprehended peacefully. Fasuga faces 7 charges, including felony assault on a peace officer and felony criminal endangerment. Bond was set at $75,000. And there was only 1 arrest made at Sunday's Justice for George Floyd protest at the state capitol. The incident involved a Helena man allegedly claiming to be a police officer. 48-year-old Daniel Edward Miller appeared via video in Lewis and Clark Justice Court today on the charge of impersonation of a public servant, a felony. At around 2 p.m. Sunday, protesters began lying down on North Montana Avenue for a die-in. Helena police blocked off the street to ensure safety. According to court documents, Miller demanded the protesters move and at one point told them he was a police officer and that they had to move. A plainclothes officer at the event reported hearing Miller verbally identify himself as a police officer. Miller reportedly denied identifying himself as such. He was released on his own recognizance and is scheduled to make his plea before district court on July 16th. Moving now to a river search that took place over the weekend. Emergency personnel responded to credible reports that a man jumped into the Missouri River Saturday evening. Great Falls police officials told MTN News nothing was determined from the search. The incident has now been passed on to the Cascade County Sheriff's Office. There is still no word as to whether the subject of the search fell or jumped into the river. And a heads up as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning, one of the busiest intersections in Great Falls will be out of partially closed for the most of the day. North and southbound traffic at the intersection of 10th Avenue South and 9th Street will be rerouted. Workers will be repairing a damaged signal cabinet. East and westbound traffic can still drive through the intersection. Work begins around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and should wrap up by around 4 p.m. Well, rain is getting closer to central and north central Montana tonight. Our Storm Tracker weather team is standing by to tell us more. Grant Garland joins us now. And Grant, just what we need after several wildfires over the weekend.
It is. The only problem is that construction work tomorrow during those times. Man, I hope they don't do. I don't like it, all that traffic. We're going to be looking at some showers and possibly even some thunderstorms tomorrow. But right now, currently, besides a few light showers in Winifred and Harleton, going to go ahead and zoom in on here. We're looking at more rain for those, light rain in Helena, as well as Wolf Creek, Lincoln, Deer Lodge, and Boulder, just getting in a little bit of moisture. Elsewhere, right now here in Great Falls, temperatures 67 degrees. Clouds, though, are billowing off in the background with the 17-mile-per-hour wind speed. Down towards Helena, looking at a little bit more ominous sky, 65 degrees, seeing a 25-mile-per-hour wind gust. And elsewhere, we're looking at 76 in Glasgow, 79 in Jordan, and 61 in Cut Bank. Today's high did get up to 70 degrees, but the record, Keely, set back in 1933 when it was 100 degrees. Also the year apparently that the Loch Ness Monster was first sighted. I don't know if he's real or not. But really quick, how many days until summer? Well, 5 days, and we're going to be looking at summer lasting from June 20th through Tuesday, September 22nd. In a few minutes, I'm going to track out how much rain we could see through Wednesday night. But for now, I'll toss it back to you, Keely.
Thanks, Grant. We'll check back in with you soon. Well, MTN and Helena Food Share are encouraging those who are able to help ensure everyone in the community has food on their table. Since June 1st, Helena Food Share has raised more than $35,000, including the $12,000 donation from MTN and the Scripps Family Impact Fund. However, Food Share says food insecurity will continue to be a real issue for many Montanans in the area due to COVID-19 impacts. Since mid-March, the food pantry has seen hundreds of new families and is currently averaging more than 5,000 pounds of food distributed each day. Food Share is unable to accept food donations at this time and says the best way to help is through a monetary donation.
It really will help us with being able to purchase the kinds of foods that we need to be able to bring in here to make sure that we have the staple food items. It'll definitely go far and have an impact on a number of families in the community.
Helena Food Share will once again be distributing boxes of fresh produce from regional farmers and ranchers through the USDA Farmers to Families program. The program is for everyone, and people can pick up their boxes at the 1616 Lewis Street Pantry on Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, up next on the 5:30 News, blood banks around the state are asking for the public's help once again, how they're testing for the COVID-19 virus. Next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 News continues on Montana's News Leader.
And welcome back to the 5:30 News. Well, the American Red Cross has an urgent need for blood donations right now. Today, they announced they would begin testing their blood donations for COVID-19 antibodies. Now, according to the Red Cross, the coronavirus is not a blood-borne pathogen, meaning it will not transfer from one person to another through blood transfusions. All blood donated to the American Red Cross goes through several screenings. A spokesperson for the American Red Cross in Helena said it's important to note as they begin adding the new antibody test screening, the test is not a diagnostic. It will not tell you if you have the coronavirus.
What an antibody test does is it tests the blood to see if your body has built up the antibodies to the disease. That doesn't necessarily mean you've been exposed to it or that you've had it, but just that your body has the antibodies in it. If you are found to have the antibodies in your system, then you can make the decision whether or not you want to look at donating convalescent plasma.
Nona says your plasma can be used to help those with coronavirus in their road to recovery. She says they're accepting drop-ins for blood donations, but they do prefer if you make an appointment ahead of time. All employees and donors are required to wear masks, and social distancing will be in place. It takes about 1 hour to donate and can be quicker if you download the American Red Cross app. Well, in more health headlines, it's been a long end to the school year, but starting today, high school athletes were able to get back to work ahead of this coming school year. MTN's Sam Hoyle has more.
2020 has been different, that's for sure. But on June 15th, high school athletes in the Helena area were able to get back to some form of normalcy beginning summer workouts.
Mentally, I think for the kids, it's great to get back. I'm just hoping that we don't have another hit or a spike and then we maybe revert back to where we were. I think that'd be real difficult for, all of the kids.
At Helena Capital, it doesn't matter what sport they play, said head football coach Kyle Mihelish. Whether it's basketball, volleyball, or football, all athletes are welcome to the 6 a.m. workouts.
Whoever wants to be a part of it, we welcome everybody.
Over at Helena High, most coaches are branching off, doing their own summer workouts staggered throughout the day. Helena High head football coach Scott Evans said since they weren't able to have spring football, now is a good time to get his players primed for their summer camp.
Right now, we're going to do maintenance and make sure those kids are in a position where they can play safe and be in a position by August 14th to be able to play.
Though there is a bit of normalcy, there are still guidelines each program has to follow. Helena High volleyball coach Lindsay Day said right now it's about being flexible during this time.
I keep telling my athletes that we're going to embrace this time and we're going to make adjustments as we need, and whatever that's going to look like, we just have to be okay with change and okay with whatever that might look like.
Despite these changes, everyone is excited.
I was excited. I didn't realize how excited I was until this morning.
It's good to get kids back and, get a good mental state where they're back with their friends and they're actually into things that they want to do.
I'm not sure who's more excited, if it's the kids or myself. I've just been waiting for this day. I've just missed them so much.
In Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN News.
Well, we've got hot and cold temperatures as well as summer is starting and Father's Day all in 1 week. We're going to have your full 7-day forecast coming up after this break.
Thanks.
And welcome back. Well, there are some additional openings and services available at Glacier National Park to tell you about tonight. The west entrance gate will no longer close at 4:30 p.m. and going to the Sun Road is open to Avalanche, and the campground is available for day use parking. The Village Inn Hotel and Lake McDonald Lodge are now open to overnight guests, and visitors can expect to find uncleared hiking trails with debris and down timber. So due to public safety concerns, congestion, and gridlock, the Going to the Sun Road may be closed temporarily on and off throughout the day. Definitely a heads up if you guys are headed out, especially going to the Sun Road. That's a beautiful view. I don't know if you're new to Montana, I think that's definitely one of the most breathtaking scenes, I think, is going to the Sun Road. Beautiful.
Well, I have family coming up in July, so I mean, if we're going to have to go.
There you go. Hopefully the weather cooperates and you hit that window before fire season really ignites and any flooding.
I'll put on a hula skirt with some dancing spoons and I'll try and do a weather dance to make sure.
Right. Good.
to make sure that we do. Have great weather. That's what I was going for. So we are looking at some light showers moving into the area right now. Now they are very light, seeing a few light sprinkles over Harleton as well as Winifred, but really concentrating on places around Helena. We've been looking at a few light to moderate showers really up towards Wolf Creek on down towards Deer Lodge, looking at some heavier downpours right in around there. But for Helena right now, not really seeing too much, but don't worry. We are expected for a rain chance to increase as we head throughout the night. Great Falls right now 67 degrees out towards Helena, 65, 72 in Fort Benton, and Lewistown around 70 degrees. Temperatures elsewhere, we're looking at 72 degrees in Havre up towards Glasgow, 76 degrees, and 78, a lot warmer down towards Billings. Now in Helena today, we did get to 70 degrees. The average just 5 degrees warmer, so not too bad there. The record set back in 1933 when it was 98 degrees. Also the year that Shirley Temple signed a contract with Fox when she was 5 years old. 5. Gosh, I don't even know. I wish I could do that when I was 5. Why we're seeing the weather we are right now, low pressure in Canada with the trailing cold front making its way towards and through the Treasure State. So as we go throughout the night, we'll see the cold front knocking on the door right around here in the next hour or so, and then it's going to start to make its way towards the Dakotas. And what's going to happen is this. We're going to kind of see a transition. Low pressure also develops a second one. Then it kind of transitions into just into one as it makes makes its way into Canada, we're going to be looking at wraparound moisture, a lot of showers and thunderstorms possible tomorrow, looking at a 90% chance for us, so get ready to have those umbrellas with you. Going throughout the day on Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, we're still going to have to deal with wraparound moisture. Also some snow for those that are living at or above around 5,500 feet. We could be looking at a couple of inches, and for those that are living above 7,500 feet in Lewis and Clark County, could be looking at maybe a foot of snow. So that's going to be tomorrow night into Wednesday. But by Wednesday afternoon, I mean, we're still dealing with a lot of showers and thunderstorms. High pressure will start, though, to try and build in, and as it does so, we will try and start to see a little bit of a drying trend as we head into the Father's Day weekend. How much rain could we be expecting? Well, around 6:30 in the morning, over 1/10 of an inch of rain in Great Falls, almost 2/10 in Helena. Continuing throughout the day, we'll start to see showers pick back up from the south, almost 3/10 by 6:30 in the afternoon. As we head into Wednesday morning, this is when we're going to be looking at a lot of rain falling into the evening hours. 1.16 inches in Helena, almost 4/10 of an inch in Great Falls. I will go ahead and tell you this, the trend has been continually getting smaller and smaller for us with accumulations. We've been looking at yesterday over 2 inches of rain, and now guess what, we're down to 1.16 inches of rain in Helena. So heads up on that. For our winds, we are going to be looking at our winds quieting down, but still having to deal with some 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts before things finally get down to around 5 to 10 miles an hour as we start our day tomorrow. And as we look at the next coming week, I mean, we've got cool temperatures on Wednesday, 61 degrees. Summer starts on Saturday with 75 degrees, and that's right around the average for this time of year. Father's Day is on Sunday. It will be nice with mostly sunny skies. 86-degree temperatures, though, on Monday, warm there. So showers and thunderstorms likely for the next 4 days. We will start to see clouds break apart on Saturday with 75-degree temperatures. Summer starts on Saturday as well. Sunday, Father's Day, and for our friends in Helena, we're going to be looking at really the same situation where we're going to get a lot of rain in the first couple of days, but then, Keely, we're going to start to dry out as we head into the weekend.
Well, coming up, baseball is back in Montana. Not just any baseball, Little League baseball. Coming up, I'll speak to the president of Riverside Little League, Zach Griffin, to find out just how they're keeping their players safe this season.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back to the 5:30 news. It's a beautiful night for some baseball. Residents around the state are making the most out of tonight's scenery with an American pastime. MTN's Matt Holzaffel joins us with more. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Keely. That's right. Baseball is back in Montana, and I am joined now by the president of Riverside Little League. That is Zach Griffin. Zach, this was touch and go for a while with coronavirus and everything. Was there a point where you thought this season might not happen at all?
Oh yeah, well, about 2 weeks ago we didn't know if we'd have a season, but you know, we worked with Cascade County Health Department, and then we also worked with Alluvian here in town to make sure our safety protocols were good, and we got the go-ahead to go, and so in about a week and a half we got baseball ready to play here in Great Falls.
Tell me about some of those safety protocols. So what are we doing to keep the players, the coaches, and their families safe this season?
Okay, so we're doing lots of social distancing. There's hand sanitizer in all the dugouts. They've gone through safety protocols and safety training with all the kids, and then everything's posted in all the areas here, and then also up at our main complex. And yeah, we're just trying to keep it as safe and healthy as we possibly can, and ask people if they're sick not to come to watch the games.
So the Little League World Series in Williamsport is not happening this season. Does that have any effect on this season here in Great Falls?
It does. You know, it's kind of sad that that didn't happen, but it's completely understandable. But this year is just a fun year for kids to play and just get out, get some exercise and work on some things that they needed to work on, and then next year they can get ready to go to Williamsport.
I think the only thing left to ask is, are you excited for this upcoming season?
Oh yes. Are you guys excited for this season? Yeah!
All right, that sounds like they're excited. Kid, we got a game to watch, so I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Matt. You can find more game changers, or excuse me, you can find more on this story later on montanasports.com. We'll also have the full story tonight at 10. We'll stick around. A final check of your forecast is next.
Well, as we take a look at our baseball forecast, the River Little League forecast, we're looking for a 50-50 chance of showers and possibly even a thunderstorm. But the good part is that we're going to be at least staying dry for the first part of the game. So yeah, it's going to be nice. We're going to be looking at temperatures around 69 degrees. A little bit breezy though, but you know, I think we can handle that.
Right, little breeze isn't anything we here in North Central Montana aren't used to.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. Before we end tonight, we just want to leave you with a shot of the baseball field, America's favorite pastime. It actually looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Again, that game though is at the Riverside Little League Plaza. That's beginning at the complex. That's beginning at 6 o'clock tonight. Of course, we'll have the full story from Matt Holzaffel tonight at 10. As for your latest forecast, you can always keep up with us on our Storm Tracker weather app. That's free on Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. All right, that's all the time we have tonight at 5:30. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your evening.